right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. But afternoon, so we're back to water. Let's talk about belt sanders for a minute. So I did a whole video on the Makita. I've done one on the Bosch. Somebody had asked a couple of questions on the forum. I'm going to let Charlie ask one of the questions, but the other question was, how do I keep my work, like if I'm making signs or any kind of flat work, how do I keep it stable, like on a table, in order to belt sand? And actually, it's very simple. So I'll show you a picture in a little bit. We'll do some questions, answers, have a discussion, but let me change it over to Charlie real quick. Let him ask the question. We'll go from there.
Hey, handyman, I have a question for you. If I have a piece of wood or a piece of steel and it's square, and I want to round the corner, but I don't have a jigsaw or a bandsaw or anything like that, and my corners come out kind of square, is there an easy way to round them and make them look like, professional?
Yeah, there is. Just like here in the picture, you're going to see I got this off of the web, and this guy does it the same way I would do it. You make sure it's secured by using clamps on a table. Use your belt sander. Of course, you're going to cut it to that round arc, the best you can. And when you only have this little bit left over, you can hold your belt sander on its side like this. And I would tell you, unless it's really bad, you can get away with 80 grit, or 120, depending on how close those lines are. And I go ahead and I sand it with that 80 grit. Now, the 80 grit is going to shape it. Once I have it to that circle, then I'll switch over and I can either hand sand or use my random orbital, and I'll start going through my grits. And I usually, stop around 150 on the edge if I'm making signs. We talked about that in the past video. This is fast, it's easy to do. This guy's using a Ryobi. I have a Makita and a Bosch. Now the Bosch is like, pretty industrial. So I use the Makita a lot for stuff like this, but it can be done. It's fast, it's easy to do. Now let me show you how I secure the wood. Okay, this is how I do it. I clamp a piece of scrap wood to the back, and I do the same thing in the very front. And then I turn around and I use that belt sander. Now this is good for leveling, but you have to be careful. Don't run this too much in the same spot or you're going to get some bad divots and stuff. So go back and look at one of my other videos, how I show you the right way to use a belt sander and to keep it moving so that you don't end up, with hoop-de-doos and all kinds of weird patterns, in what you're sanding. But this is how I secure it. The question related to securing. Now, another way I can do it, I can use smaller strips. And depending on that tabletop, I can use like drywall screws and just screw small strips in. And that'll hold it in place on both the back and the front. And there you go. And then you belt sand away. So this is your quick tip of the day when it comes to belt sanding. I have Irwin clamps also. I do it both ways. It just depends on how big this piece of wood is I'm trying to use the belt sander on. So those are your quick tips of the day, those two things. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you keep following me. I know these are simple things, but I'll raise them to the surface in your mind. Maybe when you get out in the shop, you'll remember these and you'll have some fun. You got a better way of doing it? Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next quick tip video. You folks have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.